Oh, you guys want to try an Alpha Brain?
Well, how long does it take to start working? Like instant?
I don't know. That's not Hispanic. I have no idea.
It kicks in about 4 hours later.
Yeah, as I go to bed, my dreams will be very vivid.
No, no, we're not sponsored by Alpha Brain. No,
Alpha Brain.
Alpha Brain, memory and focus. So I take one of these, and you know, I think it
like
helps
3
a little
cases
bit.
of those, right?
You know, I write reports, and it really helps me articulate a little bit better. I think those words you're trying to reach for, it puts them within grasp.
Like the word articulate?
Like the word articulate. Yeah.
And some of the words you learn here on the podcast.
Oh, most of them.
Yeah.
It's
whenever you open your mouth, Jeff, I learn a new word.
Like fall, where October's coming around. It's September 27th. Dudes like us. I'm Sean.
I am Paul.
Yeah, this is Jeff. It is technically fall now. The first day I think was Monday.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
really?
It was the first day of fall. Yeah.
I tell you what, this is the first really. I don't want to say cool week, but big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
either Sunday or Monday was first day.
I'll tell you what, you couldn't tell it over this past weekend with the Oktoberfest downtown McKinney.
Oh, was it pretty steamy out?
Oh, God bless.
It wasn't when I got there. It was nice.
Well, you know what? It was nice where we were at because we were in the shade.
Yeah.
We were drinking. It was very comfortable where we were at. But God bless you, walk up the street with the sun baking on you.
Yeah,
sun.
God, that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, I was at the Arkansas Aggie game, and yeah, we were walking across the parking lot. And it was pretty steamy.
Yeah.
But we were, you know,
That
kind of saucy. So
that
we
could have
didn't
been
feel any of that.
exciting
Care.
game to watch. A little disappointing for those Arkansas fans, but exciting to watch for the A&M fans. But you're a graduate of A&M, so you know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Everybody was asking me, "Are you rooting for Arkansas?" Of course, because I've got 2 boys that one went there and one's going there. But my wife and I both graduated from A&M, so
Yeah. No, you were like,
That
man,
trumps it.
that
fuck
trumps it.
Arkansas.
In my opinion, it trumps it. So we were all
Yeah,
in
right.
a suite that was.
look
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I was up in the suite.
Well, we took the chopper to the stadium.
Yeah.
The chopper.
Yeah.
He was running late. His wife was
Yeah,
like,
get to the
"Hey, man,
chopper."
get to the chopper.
Okay, no, we didn't go take a chopper, but it was crazy. There were choppers that were coming in and out and landing on the helipad, and just like seriously.
You would do it.
In a second.
I would 100% if
I would.
What if you had a free helicopter ride?
Or
into
just if
the
I could afford
stadium?
it. Yes.
You need to be there in 5 minutes or you're going to lose your seats.
Yeah.
You know.
If you can afford a chopper in, something tells me you wouldn't lose your seat.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
anyway, somehow my brother-in-law landed the suite from a vendor, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But you know what? And this is going to sound so shitty because you're like, really? You're complaining? No food, no drinks.
Really?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Could you bring your
I
food?
thought you said there were drinks.
That's what they told us. They said food. There's going to be like all-you-can-eat food, and the drinks you got to pay for them, but they'll have drinks there.
So none of that happened.
So you didn't.
None of that happened.
So you didn't even have opportunities to purchase food or drinks.
Well, yeah, we had to leave the suite and go with the commoners.
Oh, you had to go procure them and come back. Good Lord.
Didn't you have like a butler?
Well, then somebody called one of them, and then they started.
Yeah,
then we started
right.
ordering drinks. But
He
you
said
know-
his bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it went
Was that
bad.
Herman Munster guy?
So I bought.
Or is it the Munsters?
You know how it is. I bought 2 doubles, and they were $25 a piece.
What? I just heard part
So
of that.
$50
bought
for 2 drinks.
$50 for 2 drinks.
Were these
Okay.
bottles?
No. But it's interesting you say that because then the guy that managed to get the suite was like, looking at the little price sheet or something, and he was talking to the waitress lady that came into the suite. It's cheaper if we just buy the bottles. Like you can buy bottles of stuff instead of whatever. And we're like, well, hell yeah, let's just do that. It ended up being like $120 per bottle
For a bottle of Jack.
for a bottle of Jim Beam that was not 750 milliliters.
Was it
A
smaller?
700
Was
It
it
was a
milliliters,
small
probably.
one. It was a small one.
like a
It was
375?
like $125 for that bottle.
It was not cheaper.
It was not cheaper.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Well,
why.
luckily we got to take him home, but even then, I mean, he was.
You need to always prepare and bring your sling so
Oh,
that you
yeah.
can curry in the.
Next time I'm going to have a full body cast. I'll be on a wheelchair. I'm literally going to have
No,
bladders.
that's okay. Peel off the
all over
left
me
rib. I
and
think I
all
got some
over the
burritos
wheelchair.
down there,
It's
and
gonna be
my,
like a
my
big-
right thigh. I've got some
Oh.
cinnamon schnapps.
Oh, I'm going to be a mobile bar. the next time I do that.
You're going to be just the mule.
Yeah, totally, totally. Because I will not do that again. That was
All
crazy.
right, well,
That was stupid.
let's get the big old 1.5 Macadoodle Jack Daniels bottle. He keistered it. Bend over, Paul.
It's in a giant rectum bag.
Now, look,
Nice.
I mean, we spoke about this in the past podcasts about bringing in stuff. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, you can go up to Total Wine and you can buy those 12-ounce Traverse Delights,
Yeah, little
Smuggler
bottles,
Delight.
yeah.
Smuggler's Delights, where
Smuggler, yeah.
they're small little bags, plastic bags, basically.
So is that Bush League?
They're bladders.
It
I mean,
is.
it kind of
Yes,
is,
it
right? I mean,
is.
people
What
are
do-
looking down on
What does
that.
that mean, Bush League?
That's that's like pathetic people
Yeah.
who smuggle alcohol into.
You know what? That bullshit.
Well, 50
you
bucks
know
for
what
2
that is?
drinks.
Those are the same
Right?
That's
people.
smart.
Those are the same people saying that you're an idiot because you didn't take the vaccine.
Mm.
All right? It's
Well,
not
I don't know
my
if
fault.
It's the same folks, but
Yeah, but you know what? It's the same concept. I mean,
Subset.
why would you want to do something stupid like that?
I don't know. You mean take the vaccine or smuggle alcohol?
I mean,
into
they're
it?
both kind of the same thing. I mean, there are a lot of people out there that they will follow the science. Well, you know what? The science says something completely different now.
Oh, so you're saying just like follow rules or don't follow rules?
No. What I'm saying is you don't have to follow people's trends. I don't give a frack what people say.
Oh no! After
Yeah.
after what we
I will-
dropped in that suite,
I will
and,
always,
and Jerry Jones really. I mean, why?
that's why he's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
Basically, it boils down to what they're charging for drinks. There is greed. It's not
100%.
necessity. It's greed.
But
Literally,
But you paid for it, didn't you?
Yeah. Well,
It's
he's got to
greed.
pay. He's got to pay
People pay for it.
back the city of Arlington for that stadium. I mean,
he probably already has.
I don't know.
You don't think he has by now?
It's 10 years old. Is it 10 years old?
First off, he made
No, is it
he
10
made Arlington.
really?
Yeah, probably.
No.
First off, he made Arlington pay the majority of it anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to pay that back.
Okay, didn't know that.
Well,
yeah.
Frisco
there was a
paid.
chunk of it. He was
Well,
supposed
Frisco
to pay.
went in on the star up here. They put $30 million to it.
Are we getting paid back for that?
We're allowed to use it as a high school stadium.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's like so great to watch a football game.
Actually,
there.
it is.
No, it sucks to watch a football game. there.
No, I
Brandon
think
Brandon
the
hated
star.
playing there.
I hate it.
Oh well, I
It's
disagree.
nothing about high school football playing in that stadium.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's two different scenarios. Okay, so first of all, you're right.
Thank you.
There's a different there's a different spirit about going to a high school game where
Oh,
you
yeah.
got the wind and
Absolutely,
but
Memorial
look-
Stadium.
but here's the deal.
awesome.
yeah in December.
Yes.
All right. Let's back it up now. It's when the when the season begins in August and in September when it's 100 degrees out there. Fuck that.
No, we're Texans. We're tough.
Yeah. Well,
We can survive
this tough
heat,
boy
and we can survive
is going
that,
to be
that,
hanging out at the
Snowmageddon?
Texas Star.
Snowmageddon.
we survived Snowmageddon. We
Yeah.
can survive anything.
The star is cool, and I prefer to sit
Yeah.
in that, especially if it's raining out, or it's 100 degrees out, or it's 10 degrees out.
I just think
I'll
it's
take
cool.
the star.
I think it's cool for the boys too. I
Yeah.
think that
It
with
has-
the
it
camera
has-
setup, the instant replay,
I know.
the
Brandon didn't like playing there.
well, there are a lot of kids that do, and there's a lot of kids that don't.
It's-
Why didn't he like it though?
He says that he wanted to play football. He couldn't hear anything because it was so fucking loud in there. He goes, when those bands are playing, he goes, you can't hear anything as far as the quarterback.
Oh, I didn't know.
So
that.
he's like, I don't like it.
Huh.
It is a cool venue. Don't
the
get me
atmosphere.
wrong.
And the
we are
atmosphere.
lucky to have the Cowboys training facility in our own town.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wonderful.
I mean, we have. It's
got
ridiculous. What
even
we
the
have.
star out front. They have that well manicured football.
Yeah,
that
it's very
turf
cool.
Football field out in the front of the entrance into the star. It's wonderful.
I think it's probably the only domed high school football stadium
Probably.
in the U.S., probably the world.
I mean, we're so spoiled here, though. We have what? We have the
We have Toyota, which is the Pro Soccer League.
yeah,
Yeah.
MLS,
That
right?
seats 25,000 seats, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's the Major League Soccer museum.
Yeah,
It's a Hall of Fame museum, I believe.
that's right.
It is.
That's right. And then we have
Right here in downtown Frisco.
That was Brandon's favorite place to play was Toyota.
nice. And then we also
The
have
Toyota has I like the Toyota too because it's sunk in there.
yeah, it's
and,
lower than
it's a little cooler, I think, down way below.
Probably. Plus, it had the big screens, just like
Yeah.
the Star
Uh-huh.
has.
Yep.
So,
and we got minor league baseball. Right, we got the Rough Riders Park. That's a
Yes.
fantastic place to watch baseball. It really is. I prefer that over those gigantic
oh,
stadiums.
yeah.
and
I don't
stuff.
care going to the Rangers game at all.
Well, but for
Yeah.
any game that we go to, well, I mean, excluding obviously going to high school games, I'm not going to smuggle in alcohol. I mean, I'll walk in drunk, but I'm not going to get drunk while I'm there because that's
Why'd we do that the last time we were there?
what
Smuggle alcohol in.
did we?
I think so.
Huh. Well, maybe. Well, whatever. You know what?
Remember, we got kicked out.
No, you get kicked out.
No, it
of-
wasn't me.
of
It was
bars.
Sean.
No, I didn't get kicked out. We just left.
We were asked to leave.
No, I
Didn't
don't
really.
think so.
I was not there for that.
Dude, we were fine. That was the people that
They got
that-
upset.
they were upset, and you know what? I was like, I wasn't having any of it.
I know.
You know, they were being
So
extremely
for the
rude.
first time ever that Sean and I have been together where one of us have gotten kicked out or we've gotten kicked out, it wasn't my fault. It was Sean's fault.
Well, look,
This was at the Star.
I had
No, this
I was walking because you were there. This
Was this at the playoff game?
yeah.
This
Was
is
that-
I was-
Allen. This is in Allen.
No, this
Yeah.
was McKinney.
well, wherever it was,
McKinney.
it was.
It was the playoff game when they were there.
No, I don't think it was a
God.
McKinney because we went to that bar. That's a really risque bar.
It was
s-
Murphy.
Huh?
It was like Murphy or
No.
It was against
no.
McKinney.
It was
McKinney.
here. Hold on. First of all, what is the bar that's tight ends?
tight ends.
Yes, because we went to tight ends afterwards. We
You
were
did?
singing fucking Barely Manilow like a bunch of queers.
I've
it was
never been to tight
hilarious. I had
ends.
a blast. Huh?
I wouldn't go to a place like that.
You what?
You were
Yeah.
there Saturday.
No,
Or Friday.
Oh my God.
Should you be
This-
quiet?
Okay, so here's the deal.
Damn,
We're
man,
sitting
what's
at the
wrong
chair,
with
wherever
you?
the fuck we were at. All right. Paul gets up. We're leaving to go to the bathroom or something. I get up and I'm walking up on the steps.
Yeah, you said something.
I
that-
wasn't on. No, it wasn't. It was. I didn't say anything at that point. I had accidentally stepped on something because you know how you walk up
Oh,
the chairs.
You bumped
and
him.
I don't know exactly what it
I
was.
think you bumped him.
It was and I said I'm sorry, and it just wasn't good enough.
And then they were getting all excited, and then somebody walked over, and you go, yeah, I don't know, Then you said something that made them go apeshit crazy.
Well, it's because I didn't understand what they were upset about, and it just started getting worse and worse. And I was standing up right behind them, and and I said something like, I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about.
yeah, it was
or
something like that, or
Don't
like
you swear in front of our
I don't know.
children.
I don't know what these jerk offs have a problem with, or something
Yeah,
like that.
It was.
Whoa.
I said it like that, and oh my God, there was like
They
8
went-
people that stood up, and I was just like, all right, this is
Yeah, it was like
happening.
this, rural family that was suddenly banding together, and
Oh, dude, it was like a pack of Mormons. I mean, it was.
No, their
embarrassing.
son played with Brandon.
Yeah, well,
was on the
they were
football team.
they were a fucking.
Oh,
bunch
you
of
knew that
bag of
family?
douches.
Yeah.
how would you know that? You weren't there.
I was sitting right next to you. I was not next to you, but I was down.
Yeah,
a few
he was
lanes.
down in the front. But look,
Really? I didn't know that. That's the first
are
I've
you
heard
kidding
that.
me?
Yes, I was there. I remember this now. I thought you were at the Star when you got kicked out because you were drunk.
So,
But I remember
anyways,
this. This was
the
the playoff
cops
game.
showed up, and the
Oh,
cop that pulled
wow.
up, and we're just like, man, look. All I did is I walked up there. I accidentally bumped something. I don't even know. They got mad at me, and I just kind of like came up here and I'm watching the game. I'm not saying shit to anybody.
Yeah, so we left.
And then but I made a point to stay there for a little bit longer, and then we just left. And then we're just kind of like, I don't know we're so stupid. Jeff, we're stupid. We went out in the fucking car and we were singing Eagles, and they were
In the
playing
parking lot?
Oh, the parking lot because we were
In
drunk.
the car.
We were
Oh.
drunk.
We weren't drunk.
We were drunk, Paul. We were drunk.
Do you know that was the night that they
we sang-
found the person with the guns in the car?
What?
Do you not remember this?
Yeah, I
No.
do.
That was that game that night. We were there. They
that-
found somebody sitting in a car that had basically an arsenal of weapons and
In the parking
ammo
lot?
in their car in the parking lot of that game.
Really? I did not know that.
So what'd they do about it?
They arrested him, took him away.
Was
Oh
he
my
planning
God.
on something
were-
bad?
I don't know.
Oh my God! You know what? We probably started it. He got on the phone and said, "Hey Ma, there's someone down here giving Paul a hard time," and he probably got in his car. I'm on my way, and he's like, trampled down.
Cletus, get your weapons.
So you saw the cops take him down?
No, we weren't
no.
there when that. That's what I'm saying. We went back to the car. We sang
left.
a few Eagles songs. We jumped on a little Barry Manilow. You homo. I can't believe you played Barry Manilow, but we sang the shit out of it.
Yeah, we sure
And then
did.
we drove
killed it.
around,
We actually
and we're
killed
like,
it.
all right, what's the nearest bar? And Tight Ends populates right around the corner. Boom.
Man,
And we went into Tight Ends, and I was
don't
kind of
remember
like,
that.
holy shit, I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for being in here.
Oh, it's an
And-
over the top place. Yeah.
Yeah, we went in there, and I was like, this is too much.
Is it-
I can see those are butts. I know there's a piece of string in there, but I can't see the string, so they might as well just be naked.
Right.
You know, and then the tops they have on, what tops? They look like little pasties. And I'm thinking, dude, if my wife finds out I'm at when I should be at a football game, and I'm here at what I call it, Tight Ends.
Yeah.
Anyways, we had a bourbon.
And I was posting on social media, taking pictures of
You
the two
were
of
not.
us.
Look at Sean.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
me.
yeah. Look at what he's doing.
We just got kicked out of a football game. Hey, look at me.
Yeah, we got kicked out of a high school football
That
game.
was so
No.
bad.
We did not get kicked out.
Yeah, we did. We were asked to leave.
No, we were asked to move so that we wouldn't upset them and to do the honorable
you're
thing.
Right, you're right.
And
And
so-
we just opted to leave.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like relocating because I was kind of like, yeah, you know what? Psh, fuck Jeff and his fucking football game, man. Let's go sing Barry.
That's crazy.
Anyways, it was my whole point by bringing that whole thing up is and I brought this up in the podcast, is taking in the little bladders of alcohol. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I don't think people should look down on us for sneaking it in. You know, because every time the Dallas game we went to the playoffs, I mean, I saw the guy next to me. He saw me whip it out. He was kind of like, God bless, that is fantastic.
Yeah, he's like, man, why didn't I think of that?
Right.
No. When I
All
say
right, so
whip it
first
out, I was
off-
talking about the bladder. No.
Right.
I-
right.
you know,
Well, first off, you can't
confusing.
buy alcohol at high school football games, right?
Yeah.
Even in the Star, right?
No. Yeah.
Right. So smuggling it in there is just has its own.
Well,
like,
especially bourbon because you're going to
Yeah.
reek.
yeah, it has its own bush league issue there.
Well, man,
But
I'm not
smuggling it
doing
into
that.
places where you just don't want to spend how much they charge. That's
You
another.
could put a beer in one of those bladders.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You get a lot of
Oh,
fun.
it get warm.
Yeah. You know,
all
I
flat.
do recall.
Wouldn't it get warm?
Yes, it would.
I do recall bringing a super large 32-ounce metal insulated drink to the Memorial game during like December when they're not checking. You know,
Right.
they don't check. They don't check for drinks. You just walk in with a freaking drink. You're like, "Hey, how you doing?" It was a super large bourbon and Coke, and I was there with me and my wife. And
You know what's so bad? So in not fantasy football, Frisco Football League, FFL,
Right.
when the kids are all little and they're running around
Oh, yeah,
playing.
my boy did it. Both
yeah,
of them did.
yeah. And so, all of ours did it, right? Did Preston play FFL? He played
I don't even know
tackle
what that is.
football?
I don't think he didn't play until high school.
No, he really didn't, did he? Anyway,
Or
so
maybe middle school.
what's funny
was
about
in
you go to those games
taekwondo.
and they're on Saturday and the women are all walking around with big tumblers and
All filled with wine.
The mimosas
absolutely,
or whatever.
absolutely. I would say the women were drinking more than the men were,
Right.
right?
Because remember, like,
Yeah, we're like all, like it's the Super Bowl.
Right.
Every game is the Super Bowl, and this makes or break our
did
child's
Dawson
future.
play?
Oh yeah,
What
played-
team was he on?
He was on the Aggies when it was flag football, and then he went to the Notre Dame. What are they called? They're the
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah,
the Irish.
we
the
beat
fighting,
you bad.
fighting Irish. Oh yeah, we were horrible.
Yeah, we beat you.
Yeah, we were horrible. And it was so stupid how intense we all got and yelling and screaming.
I was the announcer for Brandon's team.
very nice.
So yeah,
You don't really have a radio voice.
but he was on the Longhorns.
But you know, he sounds different when you imagine him on the big microphone. You know, I just think it's funny. I announced twice during the football games, and I had fun doing it. I didn't know anything what I was doing, and I just counting on a bunch of people to tell me what the deal is. What where are they at?
They'll
'Cause
tell you
you-
shit.
Who are the? Now I had there's always a couple people. There's a guy up there always that knows all the players.
Right.
And he would say 14 is this guy. So I'm checking the list, and Jones gain of 3. Just kind of like
Right.
just juicing it up, doing the out, and I'd even like say hot dogs for sale. Just really kind of pumping up the
Kind of the Harry Carey voice.
yeah.
Well, probably what made it hard for you is that you don't understand football at all.
Oh
So
no,
that probably didn't help.
no.
so-
But if you're gonna go there,
Oh,
Yeah, I used to. I did.
Well,
I
let's not even talk about it. That was so embarrassing for both of us.
it's not that I beat you. It's just you fucking lost.
I lost more than you did.
Yeah.
We played each other. It was what,
All right,
79
so
to
those, dudes like
73?
us listening in here, we're in the fantasy football league. This is an elite football league. When I say
elite, really.
well, hey, look, when I say it's elite, we have defensive players, not defense teams. We have an elaborate 20 roster league. I mean, a person on 12 people in the league, and so it's a big ordeal. There's hardly any talent left, but by the time the draft is over.
Yeah.
So
Just throw one out there.
The scores were not high at all this week.
No, they weren't. And you know what?
That's good.
Just like we always say, it's all freaking luck.
It
There's
is.
only
It is.
you never know what the hell's going to happen.
Well, it's a battle for last place this week.
Yeah,
It's you and me,
Oh my God.
both 0-3.
Oh my God. I'm so bad. I'm so bad. You know what? Let's talk about our bourbon. You want to do that?
Yes, it is. It is very tasty.
This is larceny, gentlemen.
Larceny. It's weeded weeded beer. I mean, sorry, weeded bourbon.
Well, this is the Larceny Barrel Proof.
Barrel
Hardwood to find.
It offers a new
Yes.
opportunity to experience our acclaimed weeded bourbon mash bill in its purest form, non-chill filtered and bottled as pool bear proof. Released 3 times per year in January, May, and September. We got to remember that.
Yeah. It's released in January, May, and September.
Yeah.
The full barrel proof. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the small batch bourbon, rich with depth and distinction, much like the Larceny small batch and Old Fitzgerald bottle and bond Larceny barrel proof. First of all, what is the Fitzgerald?
That's another one we need to find.
Interesting.
We need to find the old Fitz.
All right, so
Old
this is
Fitz, huh?
okay. Look,
6 to 8 years old.
So
I'm
this
smelling vanillas.
This is Larceny. It's 120 something proof.
Yeah.
And usually when you have a bourbon like this, you're expecting that's a cool visual with the bourbon
Little
shooting
video
in the
on the
glass like
website
that with
With
a
a
little nipple,
little penis or whatever that is.
little teat.
It kind
You
of
know.
looks
Metal
like thick
teeth.
urine.
You know, so I showed Shelly the picture that we took of the Calumet last week or the week before.
That's nice.
And it was a great picture.
Yeah.
It turned out great.
Did you do a little
And-
color editing with the? Did you change that flower to blue?
Yeah, it seemed a little faded.
No, I didn't change it. No, they
Oh.
did something when they reposted it.
They
So
did
it was
something?
such a great picture that Calumet reached out to us and said, "Hey guys, do you mind if we steal this picture?"
Well, and this was the
Yeah.
16 year. That was last week.
Yeah,
That was last week, yeah.
And we did the 16 year, which is the most we've ever done of a
as far as age wise, yeah.
age wise. Yeah. Anyway, it was a great picture, and Shelly made a great point. She goes, "You guys need to take pictures where you're pouring it into the
The Glencairn.
into the Glencairn glass."
Yeah, but we're usually measuring it and stuff. But
No, I know, but that was a good idea.
so this
That was a great picture, by the way.
this-
It really looked good.
You were there when I took it.
I really got.
I know.
Hand
I
it,
was pushing the flower into the picture.
Yes, that's right.
I really got to hand it to the Larceny on this particular bourbon. I mean, it's 68 years old. It's super high proof, 120 plus. It's 123.8, something like that. But the thing about it is that when it comes out of the bottle, usually with the stuff that's hot, usually you're thinking, oh god, that's kind of, you can smell the vapor and it's
Right.
like it's start a freaking jet in.
Just
air
scorched my nasal
But this doesn't do it.
membrane.
It doesn't. Now either
Very rich, very smooth.
we're either losers and we're just really getting used to it, but
Yes.
it's got a very sweet,
Yes.
easy vanilla taste.
There's nothing left of our vulva nerves.
Vulva.
Wow.
Well, what'd you call the thing at the back of your throat?
That's a uvula.
Uvula.
Same thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Not
think
quite.
There's
but
no nerves left.
There's
so
V's in
the
the
mash
word, I
bill
guess.
on this is 68% corn and 20% wheat. Hold on. This is not a wheated.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it
it
says
is.
wheat.
There's no barley.
There's no
I mean,
rye.
there's no
Okay,
rye.
Well, yeah, but
Wait. no.
20%
wait.
wheat?
A wheated bourbon replaces the rye.
Yeah,
with
I
the
get
wheat.
it. I get it. I was just
Right.
expecting a little bit more wheat in it. It
No.
tastes very smooth for having that little wheat.
You were wanting 80% wheat?
Well,
No, I
no,
was
you're used
wanting
to
like
the
30.
nine-banded where it's like 46% or something like that.
45-ish, whatever. It's high.
68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% malted barley. So you're saying most bourbons we drink are rye?
Correct.
Why did I not clue into that? I'm sure I knew that.
Yeah, it's corn, rye, and malted barley typically. When they
Is-
say it's a wheated, they take the rye out and put the wheat in. And when it's a 4-grain, it has all of it.
Yeah. So the cue that I know,
Nice.
based on my taste buds, is that the smoother a bourbon is, in my opinion, the more wheat it is.
I agree.
You know, I just think that kind of and some
'Cause
people
rye
say
we know has a tart.
it's got that punch to it where you could. It's I don't know if it's the tobacco or it must be the rye.
You know, we say that though, but we've had some ryes that are very smooth. So
yeah,
that
the
that
Forgate
was
Forgate,
fantastic.
yeah.
and we have another one that's in the pipeline that is supposed to be really good.
The Knob Creek down there.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Knob Creek rye.
Yeah.
That's going to be next week.
Yeah, that was man. We got a lot of bourbons. I'm pretty excited about it.
I don't know. Sean may be gallivanting around Florida.
Yeah,
That's
you know.
right. Let's talk about this.
Well, you know,
It's a big deal.
here's the thing. It's a double-edged sword. On one part of it, I'm kind of like I look forward to traveling a little bit. You know, by the time I'm gone for the 10th day, I'm like I'm ready to come back. You know,
Yeah, this one we're not. I mean, you don't know how long you're going to be there. We have no idea what this hurricane's going to do to the Florida coast. Right?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's coming up bad. I think it's supposed to get up to a 4 and then drop down to a 3 once it hits Tampa because it's projected to hit Tampa.
So it's passing Cuba as we speak. Right.
It's supposed to hit Thursday.
Do you check Allen and see how family's doing there?
Well, his girlfriend was supposed to fly back from Cuba yesterday, and they canceled all flights, shut everything down. So she is still there, and he has no idea when she's going to leave.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, it always happens. I feel bad for him.
Well,
anyway.
so I don't know. My work has shared that I'll be on one of the first waves. I don't know what that means. Well, yeah, I do. The first wave of folks to go out there to help and
to jump out of a plane.
Yeah, we're all
Paratroop.
We're gonna just
do they make you do that?
No, we usually jump out the side of a van.
Oh, good.
Just like drop, stop, and roll.
Yeah,
kind of tuck.
Drop and roll. What is it called?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, you know, we don't know what's going to happen. So, and plus, you know what? I was sharing with Jeff earlier. It's like, you know, what's frustrating with some of these dramatized and advertised hurricanes that are coming in is that they give us so much hype. They're already like, oh, this could be the biggest one we've had in 100 years. Oh my God!
This is life-threatening storm surge.
We're going to have to clear everybody out and evacuate and start.
Well, that's what they're doing. So they're doing mandatory evacuations in Tampa.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of that's is positive, and you have to, because if you don't, then you know there's a lot of liability that's
you got a bunch of old people.
Yeah. Well, I work with a company who's right there in Tampa Bay, and friends with them, and I was IMing with one of them had already left, and she's actually going south because they have a business continuity plan, right?
Right.
Because all their servers and everything are there in Tampa Bay, and so she's going south, driving south to get back online tomorrow, so she could still work. But the lady that I was speaking with today is staying, and I was asking, hey, what's going on? You know, how's everyone doing? And they're like, well, they're going remote with all the servers, the network, and everything, right? So, because if it came through there and wiped it out, they'd be down, right? So they've learned over the years that we need remote systems as well. So anyway, she goes, and I asked her, I was like, are you leaving? She goes, I'm in a mandatory evacuation zone, but I'm staying.
Right.
And we made the decision we're going to stick to it. She goes, if it gets really bad, she goes, I rented a Airbnb a few miles up the road that
is sturdier
in case it gets too bad here.
A few miles? Why would that make a difference?
Because I could get on my bike and ride to it. I was like, all right.
Okay, that makes no sense.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, it's got to be higher ground, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, that would be the only thing. A lot of those houses down there are on stilts, and I don't know, man. Different strokes for different folks.
I'd have no desire to live. You know, Florida's fun to visit. I wouldn't want to live there because basically anywhere in Florida could be a hurricane disaster because it's so narrow.
Yeah.
You just go right across.
Right.
I've only
just leave when the hurricane comes. I mean,
I've only been in the northern part of Florida.
Yeah, but then how many times you're like, oh, there's a hurricane coming, evacuate it. Nothing happens. So it's like, you know, the kid who cried wolf, right?
I know, and that's the
that's the
dangerous thing.
Part.
That's the dangerous thing because you know that if it's a worst case scenario and nobody believes you anymore,
and here's where this
bad things happen.
Here's where I get troubled, okay? Because you have these computers that might as well be Dr. Fauci, okay, just spewing information.
Well, they have
different
10
simulations.
different paths.
They have 10 different models of
Right.
where this thing's going to go,
Right.
and you don't know which direction it's really going to happen. So they've got all the models set up, and you know what? But
Have you seen the models? Does any of them hit
Yes.
Frisco?
No.
No, none of
It
them
takes a hard left. It comes right for
no.
us.
Well, actually,
It hops the coastline.
there
Yes.
is a model that heads towards Alabama, and
Well, it's going to keep
but
going up north.
but there is a
Oh,
model that
God.
spews to the left and heads by
Correct. Yeah.
Alabama.
There's also one where it takes a hard right and it dips down below Florida and then up the East Coast.
that the Carolinas
And
and
then
bypasses
slams
Florida.
into the White House.
Bypasses Florida altogether. But then most of them go right up Tampa Bay into Orlando. So Orlando's going to get hammered.
The reality is we don't know.
We don't know.
The trend is that 90% of the time that they talk about these damn storms, they fizzle out.
Right.
You know, but
That's
God
what's
help
not.
you. God
When
help
it
you on that
doesn't.
10% one where it doesn't fizzle out and you don't prepare and you don't evacuate or do the necessary things to survive.
Go to
I
weather.
will
Go
tell
to
you-
weather.com.
So my parents lived in Punta Gorda, Florida, and there
Punta.
was a direct hit right by the hurricane. They didn't live there at the time. They were in they had already moved. They had already moved to Tucson, but her sister was there, and they decided not to evacuate, and so they were literally in their house. They had storm shutters, right, because that's a normal thing in Florida.
Right.
And they said it was awful. Like my uncle
Of course.
was in the garage, like doing everything he could to hold the garage door down, because if the garage door blew off or blew up, the wind was gonna get into the house,
right,
and
so
that's where shit starts to disintegrate.
We are looking at an actual forecast right now on weather.com of Hurricane
Not a forecast.
Ian.
That
Well, it's
is
a news-
actually the radar. It's past
Yeah.
Cuba now.
So it's actually encroached the. Oh
Look.
nope, hold on.
Holy cow! Look at that. It's already past Cuba.
Well, what's today?
Yeah.
Today is Tuesday, so it says Wednesday early a.m. It's going to be about 100 miles, 150 miles south.
so Cape Coral's going to get the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
look at that, Orlando, Jacksonville, all that shit.
I may have to
Tons of rain coming.
And if it goes back over the water, it could pick up speed again. 8 to 12 feet.
See, Fort Myers, Punta Gorda was where my parents used to live. As a matter of fact, that's where my aunt is now. And last time they said they would never do it again. So I guarantee they're picking up and getting the hell out of there.
Could you imagine you're down there at Disney World right now?
Oh, wouldn't that be?
I'd be so pissed off because they don't refund.
really.
Well, it's no
No.
different.
Not even a rain check.
It's no different than well, it is a little different than a cruise. But the cruise is they reroute,
Right.
right? But the same kind of thing can happen where cruises, right?
Are you serious? They wouldn't help you out with a rain check?
No, it rains all the
Disney
time
World?
down there.
Disney World sucks. They don't do anything friendly to the world.
No, it rains all the time down there. They're like, we don't guarantee that rides are going to be open or the weather's going to be nice.
Wow, outer bands already battering some areas. So I have another story. So you remember in Galveston when one was supposed to hit directly, and all those people out there were like refusing to leave, because they hunker down. They're like, "Well, we've seen this before, same old thing, blah blah blah."
Right.
And so they weren't being dicks. They were like, "Do me a favor." They handed them a Sharpie, and they said, "Please write on your arm your name, your address on your arm, so that when if we do find your body, we will know immediately who
Right.
you are and where that kind of thing."
I
And
think
they weren't being like, "Fine, you're going to make that decision." They were like, "This will help us, so please write that on your arm."
I would have been like,
Wouldn't
maybe I
that
need
be?
to leave.
Yeah, wouldn't that be that you'd be like, "Okay, I get it. I'm out of here,"
I don't know.
because they've seen this before.
Right.
They go
Yeah.
around looking for bodies,
Yeah, but
I wouldn't
and there
chance
were
it.
bodies.
I'd
in that
go. I'd
hurricane.
take the
Yeah.
advantage and go, hey, we're taking a 3-day vacation up north.
Absolutely.
You know?
and you got to think
Absolutely.
the
You can work
aftermath.
remote these days.
Now,
Right.
with my job and what I have to do, which hold on. So let me try to phrase this. So after the hurricane is gone and it leaves an aftermath of damage,
Oh yeah.
then you have the folks that aren't allowed in because you have power failures.
Sewage.
You have there's sewage. There's hazardous materials
Looting.
that are out. That is the part that I'm kind of driving to, is the looting. Because I remember, I don't know if it was Katrina, specifically, but it was just there.
Katrina was bad.
The
looting
you
is
think
bad.
you think of things, and this is a horrible reflection on the United States of America. And I'm not saying
I don't think this is the only place that would loot.
No,
that
it's
does that.
not that. It's the lack of response. That's why I think it's a fantastic job what Florida's doing right now. It's very organized in getting people out of there.
They're trying to blame all this on DeSantis already.
The climate change.
Well, no, just the
not being ready.
Not being ready, even though he is 100% ready. They're saying, well, the communication has been spotty and this and that.
Right. They're trying to blow holes in his preparedness.
Right. So when it fails, they're gonna be like, see, it was him.
But there's more than that. What I'm driving at is, for example, when the riots were happening in the Northwest, you had that Chaz. What the fuck is that called?
Well, that all comes down to the local government.
Yeah, it's
Trump
local,
was like, say the word, I'm sending in the National Guard. He just can't do it.
My point is that this is the United States of America, and there are individual things that are happening, like that Chaz group, where even though Trump said, "Hey, man, let's we're ready, we can go in there with the National Guard," they refused to. So the reality
because they don't want to give him
is,
a win. That's why.
Sure, but the reality of it is that if you own a business there, and you're thinking to yourself, I live in the U.S. of A.
Oh, yeah.
How could this possibly happen? I don't give a shit what side of the aisle you're on. And that's one part of it. And the other part of it is like during Katrina, when you have the one mayor that was a dingbat that said he had an opportunity to get a bunch of people out of there on school buses, and he opted to not do it. And sure enough, the whole God blessing place flooded, and all the school buses went with it. And you have all the looting, and you have the the state, is it the New Orleans
Superdome?
State?
Yeah, they were in the Superdome,
and there are people getting raped in there.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like, dude, we are 4 days in.
No, and no one's coming to help.
This is the United States of America.
See, that was
should have an army there.
That was under Bush.
Yeah, that was Bush. Bush got the blame for that.
But that's just,
and is it his fault? I mean, where's the governor? Where's the mayor?
That's just it.
Well, he has the power to call FEMA in, though.
Well, that's a federal response, but I mean, you should have local things set up.
Correct.
But I just, my point is that we're in a time and an age right now where you think this type of stuff should be happening.
Right.
And so when they start poking holes in it, it's kind of like you can't criticize the cuisine before it's even served. For DeSantis being in Florida, you have the folks in. I mean, when's the last time someone's talked about Putin in Ukraine? I mean, you're thinking this is the world, and you have some Russian dude taking over another country, and no one's doing jack shit about it. They're all fucking watching.
Everybody's turning
Everyone's a pussy, turning
the other way
to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he's like, I'll use nukes if you come interrupt me.
Wow.
Right.
Where's my paper?
Who's going to take that? Who's going to take that chance?
Right.
Yeah. So
that's it.
You know what's not fair about hurricanes, though? I mean, people cannot possibly understand nor appreciate the level of catastrophe. Do you remember when it hit the Gulf Coast?
Oh yeah. All that water.
Oh, there were ships, there were boats and ships that were like a mile inland. You know what I mean? It's like people, and then they're like, where's the help? Where's the water?
Yeah.
Where's this? Where's that? I mean, the logistics that goes into such widespread devastation, is just mind-boggling.
How come I don't have power? Where's my Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Come on.
I gotta watch Netflix.
What the hell, man? I'm missing my show.
I gotta post on Instagram.
What the hell?
So, and what is? Thank God for what is that? Cajun Navy.
Cajun Navy.
No.
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
All right, so it's a group of people.
I thought it was a porn site.
Are they?
No, it's called the Cajun Navy. Maybe look it up.
Are they on like those
Cajun
fan
Navy.
boats?
Yeah. Well, so it's all these civilian guys that band together whenever there's flooding, and obviously hurricanes is nothing but flooding, right? Well, I shouldn't say that, but tons of flooding. These guys spring into action, and they are doing like I want to say the majority of the rescues, but they're doing water rescues. They're bringing food and water to all these people. It's kind of like
they have a
awesome.
bunch of swamp boats. They've got these incredible
awesome.
trucks that are the wheels are like 6 foot tall.
And their
just
purpose
ridiculous.
in life, they have jobs, right? But their purpose in life is waiting for the next.
So it's like volunteer firemen.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, one thing that you may have to deal with down there are Crocs.
You know what?
Gators.
I'll tell you one thing.
The shoes,
Yeah, I wouldn't wear the Crocs. No, the alligators.
a lot of floating shoes.
Yeah, where are those alligators going to be ending up somewhere?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I'll
And there's
be
going to be water everywhere.
I'll be purchasing a
Big boots.
Bayonet?
No, a bayonet.
A bazooka.
I'm gonna have a machete with me. Mike. No, I'm gonna have a. I'm buying a. I don't know what the hell they're called. The gun safe, a gun bag, a gun case, so I can put it on the airplane with me.
You should bring one of those cattle guns where it just like. So if you see a gator,
nice.
just stick it in their skull.
What, a
like
cattle
that.
prod?
No, it's where they kill the cows at the slaughterhouse. There's a little piston that shoots out.
Nice.
Where am I gonna keep that?
I don't know.
Carry on. Take it on the plane.
Just say it's a tripod.
They'll let you do that.
Yeah.
It's
And
my
just tell them
camera.
what you are.
I tell you,
I'm here for Hurricane Croc Patrol.
This is my alligator rod.
No, but I really need to go get one of those Pelican briefs or boxes or suitcases where you put your guns. It's like a little gun safe where you lock it for the TSA can allow you to get on the plane. Yeah, I think you're allowed to put, like the guy was chatting with us at Total Wine.
Right.
Oh, you just want to do the booze trick.
Yeah.
Well,
that's really what you want. You want to stumble around war-torn Florida, all drunk and
He's like, look, I found a bottle of
flailing his
Willer's.
bottle around.
I was pricing those boxes, and they're about $300, and I was just like, you know what? But here's the thing. I mean, you're allowed to take 5-6 bottles anyway, so I don't think that's a big deal.
No, it's a matter of them stealing it when they they scan your luggage and see there's bottles of booze in there. They take it out. I don't know what happened.
That's wretched.
That is wretched. What a word. That's a
Well,
perfect word.
these hard to find bottles,
That's
right?
one of those brain pill words. Wretched. Very nice.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's working for Sean.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to be a
Ah.
problem down there is the alligators.
Man, I'll tell you what's going to be a problem every time a hurricane hits.
Mosquitoes.
You get those mosquitoes. Oh, I never.
Skeeters.
It was a Hurricane Hannah that came in. That I was down South Texas.
You were in
and-
Alabama.
Oh my God! I called Jeff up and I was like, dude, I need mosquito spray.
You
I
did.
remember that.
Overnight it to me now. Because everywhere was fucking
Really?
I
sold
think
out.
Andrea did, didn't she?
Oh, she
ever
did.
done
It cost us like $70-$80, and I got all these little things all set up. And the very next day, they had cases and pallets of mosquito shit. And I was like, fuckers. Because I asked everyone, they're like, oh, no, they don't have them. They don't have them anywhere.
Right.
And then whatever. It is what it is. But I will never make that same mistake again.
You're going to have it with you. Yeah.
Oh, God bless. Yeah. In fact, I'm thinking.
He's going to bring like a big gallon salve.
You're going to
just
have like a motorized fogger on your back.
That's right.
Nice.
Those
You know what thing I find funny is when hurricanes are coming and everybody just decides to have a hurricane party.
Well, if you do it like a couple days before it hits,
hold on.
that's one
Before
thing.
we talk about the hurricane party, let's back up a little bit and chat about these mosquitoes.
Oh, okay.
Until you're in that environment,
Yeah.
and you've got standing water that's been there for a week or two,
That'd be awful.
and it's 8 inches, 12 inches, 2 foot. I don't know where the hell these mosquitoes come from.
The water.
They're Jurassic.
Yeah.
They're extremely large. When those flying insects we have here
The
in
mayflies?
Dallas, the
Mayflies,
ones that
yeah.
eat the other flies and shit,
The mayflies, yeah.
they are that huge. And when they come down and they bite on you,
That doesn't make
Oh.
any sense. Why would they be bigger?
man, I mean, they've got resources to.
They've got resources.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're down there. There's dead shit everywhere. There's garbage everywhere. I mean, there's lots of water.
Yeah, there's dead animals you're just sucking blood out of.
God, I mean, it's.
Well, the ones back in the dinosaur days were like the size of birds, right?
Yeah, I watched Land of the Lost.
I never forget this.
The mosquito bite that Will Ferrell gets.
Yeah. And that's real.
Yeah.
There was this young lady that worked for our company, and she was sent to New Orleans during whatever happened last year or 2 years ago, and she got mauled by a bunch of mosquitoes, and she had a bunch of dots all over her arm and
wow.
shoulder, and
Like a rash.
yeah,
Or like the
bites.
holes.
they were just dots.
Holes.
But you know what it turned out to be?
Monkeypox.
Scabies.
It was a reaction to the mandatory vaccine she was required to get
Which was
For
what?
malaria?
for COVID.
Oh,
the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, there was something about you couldn't go into somewhere in New Orleans without the vaccine.
Wow.
And that just it blew me away. That's what it caused it, because she was kind of like, she had sent these pictures of her arm and she was like, look what the mosquitoes did. And I was kind of like, oh, crap. And then she was sent another email going, those weren't mosquitoes. That was a reaction to the COVID vaccine that I got. After further. So anyways, I had to share that little part, man. But the hurricane parties are something else too, because when everyone's out of town and you got these bars, these local little hole in the wall bars, it's almost like, these guys don't give a shit. I've been here for 57 years and I've never moved out one single time. We're just going to sit here and hunker down and drink us a couple bottles of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, and get shit-faced. So they board up the windows of the restaurant or the bars.
Let's bring our friend Paul over here.
That's what you want to do, is get shit-faced when the storm hits and you're just like, all of a sudden you're in 30 feet of roiling water.
Oh, God.
Exactly what I'm saying. I was like, that's not really a good scenario.
No.
But I'd do it.
No, I'd do it like a day or two beforehand and then get out.
Oh, and then be hungover.
You know what I would
that's
want?
even better.
I would have like a 6-foot tall donut and inflatable, and I would
like a river raft.
Dude, look, I will find a way to have fun with this. I mean, if I were them,
I think that would
do
be
it
fun.
personally.
What's the movie where there's a hurricane and there is some heist and they're riding jet skis around?
I've seen that, yes.
That was so bad.
It was bad.
What is
so
that?
bad?
Yeah, it had. I think it had Mel Gibson in it.
I mean, they were anticipating that a hurricane was going to hit, and that was the time that they were going to pull
hit
off
the
some
heist?
sort of bank heist or something bullshit like that.
Yeah.
It was so stupid.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. Anyway, hurricane's a big deal. What other? There's some other major things going on right now in the world.
Well, I'll tell you about the Russians. Well, first of all, there's a lot about the Russians.
Yeah, they're constricting.
That's called the draft.
It is. Why are they called constricting?
So there's
conscription. That's like the old school term.
Is it?
So the Russians have created this campaign.
They're losing.
They are. They've created this campaign using IP addresses located in China, and they are setting up false Facebook accounts by the thousands, and they are creating articles that detail that Russia is in the right and Ukraine is bad, is basically the gist of it.
Doesn't surprise me.
There are thousands
they
and
excel
thousands
at misinformation.
So it's fake news.
It's absolutely, but it's super coordinated, and it's
doing
pretty
it
elaborate.
They've been doing it for decades. So has China.
Well, but the thing is that the Facebook they had to come out like, oh, we shut all these things down and sending all this
roll.
But the Nord Stream pipelines were hit by suspicious leaks as a possible sabotage.
And they said it was unprecedented, and they
By
blamed
who?
Ukraine.
Oh, by Ukraine?
Yeah, well,
They blamed
Russia
Ukraine.
says
It's in the Baltic Sea.
we have the right to use nuclear weapons based on
they
this.
need to stop with that whole.
Well, that's what's keeping everyone at bay.
Is it though? I mean,
The
United States is giving unprecedented amounts of money to another country to fight a war.
I know, but we're not over there fighting on their behalf.
Right? No, I get
That's
that.
what some people want, and that's where
I don't want that.
And that's where Putin's going. If you get involved, we will have nukes.
So
let's
let's think of the
crazy-
end game for Putin. I'm sorry.
What's the end game?
No, I'm thinking. Let's think
I
of
think
the
he's
end game
balls
for
deep.
Putin.
He's balls deep right now.
Well, he is balls deep, but just think about what if this is coordinated? Meaning that what if this is the plan? The plan is to euthanize or to thin out the population of Russia. Because think about it, every person that dies, relinquishes their land. It all goes back to
One less person to feed.
Yeah, I mean, just think about it from that perspective. I mean,
I say only they've lost 70,000 people. Is that going to make a dent in their population?
That won't. But
You're talking about using nukes.
Yeah, I'm using nukes. Just the
Yeah,
whole.
but that makes the whole area unpopulatable.
It does. It
makes
does.
Ukraine useless.
No, what Putin wants? He wants the Soviet Union back together again.
Yeah, no,
And
the
he wants
Union of
Ukraine. He
Soviet
wants all
Socialist
of Ukraine
Republic.
He wants all of Ukraine to be part of the Soviet Union
Well,
again.
Ukraine would only be the first step. It'd be Ukraine, then he has to go down to Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan,
Oh, no, he has
all
every
of those.
intention of reuniting all of those republics that broke
And he's
apart.
having trouble with the first one.
Yeah, he is. Ukraine's not Ukraine is holding its own, for sure. But they're, I don't know how long it's going to last. I mean,
We've said that in March.
They're beating the shit out of them. And, man.
Well, I would tell you, the Russians are rising up. I mean, they're attacking the conscription centers. Am I saying it right?
Conscription.
Conscription.
Yeah, I don't think the people of Russia are
They're not on
supporting
board.
this.
They're not on board with this.
No.
Well, that's what the Meta was suggesting, is that they want all this false narrative through these news articles to suggest that the Ukraine are bad people and that the Russian are in the right, and the Russian folks are they're gung ho and
Right.
we're ready to join, and it just it just
what's
isn't
sad?
true.
I read an article where there were, because people in Ukraine have family. I mean, they're so close.
Correct.
They have family in Russia, family in Ukraine. They're part of the same damn family, and then they have people in Ukraine, contacting their family back in Russia, going, blah 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 blah. This is happening, that's happening, and their family in Russia is going, no, that's not what's happening. You're telling us lies. You don't really know what's going on.
Like it's right outside my window.
Yeah, they're like, I can't. Honestly, you believe what the Russian government's telling you,
Right.
And they do.
Yeah.
And they do.
I also heard that when he did the conscription, that there was a huge exodus of people crossing the border up north. I don't know what's Belarus, maybe.
Belarus, which is not much better.
No, yeah,
they'll
in
round
the
them
bag.
up and kill them or send them back.
Yeah, I don't know. It was up north where they're like, yeah. As soon as that was announced, there was just a horde of cars that exiting Russia.
Nobody wants any part of this war.
Yeah,
it's absolutely nuts. And look what's happening in Iran.
Really.
Iran's dealing with some trouble right now.
Holy shnikes, they are.
Yeah, they've
got
effed
a
up.
big. They're retaliating from that horrible thing they did to that 22-year-old teacher.
It was a Kurdish woman who apparently was not wearing her hijab correctly. She was wearing it, not wearing it correctly.
Right.
Yeah,
and so they beat her and beat her some more, put her in jail, beat her some more, and she died. And they claimed that, it wasn't their beatings. She had some sort of heart condition or something.
Whatever.
Well, nobody was buying that.
Well, there's a bunch of protests over there now. There's a lot of
protests. Well, they're saying over 50 have been killed, and I'm sure that is a really small number.
Yeah, a lot of the women over there are protesting, and they're standing up, and they're
good for them.
Which says a lot of there, because the lady over there is not nearly respected enough. I don't think.
Not at all.
They have a bad.
Well, that's the whole Islam thing.
They have jokes, even like I was talking to somebody, maybe in us, we were talking about it, but some taxi driver was talking about, because this lady was like, he was driving past somebody, and the lady was like, "Hey man, fuck you! Why don't you watch where you're going?" And the taxi driver was talking. There was someone outside the taxi, yelling at him, and the passenger in the back seat was kind of like, "Yeah, you know what? If that would have happened in my country, someone would have got out of the car and beat the shit out of her and killed her right then and there, and you would have found her body a week later. No one touched it." That's the kind of stuff that they have.
Figure
there.
out what accent that
That was like
know.
Russian, I think.
I don't know.
That was Russian.
I know, but you're absolutely right, and that's sad.
It is sad,
and it is true.
Yeah,
it is
it's absolutely true that they would beat somebody to death just like that. The body would stay there. No one would give a fuck.
Dude, if a woman in the Taliban, right, in the Afghanistan world, if a woman walks unescorted through the streets, they can kill her.
Yeah.
And then honor killings, right? That happened in freaking Irving.
It did.
The two daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two daughters were basically American born and raised in high school, and
she
they
was
were Western
dating
girls.
she was dating a black guy. I don't think the color had anything to do with it, or maybe it did. I don't know, but
no,
Probably
but she
not.
was dating somebody,
Probably
and
not.
the father said you disrespected. What? It's not disrespected. You did something to our family.
Brought dishonor to the family.
Yeah. There you go. He brought dishonor to the family and went after him with butcher knives.
Killed him.
Killed both of them.
And went down hard. They got him. I mean, they had the evidence and everything. They put him away.
I didn't think they caught him. I thought he was able to escape.
No,
he ran away. But they hunted him down, got him, convicted him.
That was recently they just
Yeah,
got him and
he-
convicted
well,
him.
I
and
mean,
he's rotting in jail now.
I think
The trial's already over.
that seems to me like it was like 8 years ago.
The killings were, but I think they caught him. It was in the news recently.
It was.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's
He
what
was
it is.
on the run. The trial was recent, and he was convicted, and he is now.
Yeah, he.
I mean,
he would,
I'm sure they're going through appeals and other bullshit like that. right?
Man, but
He
the community
murdered his 2 daughters.
I mean,
Yeah,
look, I
kill
don't.
him.
Any look. I
Your
don't.
reasoning doesn't matter.
If I say something bad about the Muslims, I don't want to be hunted down. But it's just like, why?
It's a. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's a religious thing.
don't
It's
get it.
hardcore.
I don't
It's
know.
no different than when the Prophet Muhammad is insulted, right? Do you remember when they had that, which was over the top in my opinion, but in Garland or Mesquite, they had that contest for who could draw
Yeah.
comic strips, right? And that is a major
Well, that happened over in Europe as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and they raided that journalism
Yeah.
and killed everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have
Good grief.
the really radical Muslims, and I'm talking about the radicals, right? I mean, because it's unfair to say all Muslims are like that, but the really radical ones, if you insult the Quran, you insult the Prophet Muhammad, then you have an obligation to go kill the people that did that. I mean,
Good grief.
oh yeah, no, that's a real thing.
yeah. And
I
it's
mean, recently
it's-
they stabbed what's his name? Who was the guy that had
Oh yeah.
Salman Rushdie?
Salman Rushdie, who wrote the Satanic Verses
Yeah,
way back when, and had
way
a
back.
Oh, yeah.
fatwa.
Yeah,
on
he
him.
was. He
And
was.
finally, somebody got him.
He
they
didn't
didn't kill
die
him.
though. They didn't die though.
No, he didn't die.
Yeah, but they lacerated him pretty bad.
Yeah, they cut him bad.
Good
Yeah, they gave him
Lord.
a bad scar.
Yeah, well,
No, they
more
did
than
more
that. I
than
think he
that.
lost
I'm
an eye or
kidding.
something.
I'm kidding.
I
Sorry,
think he
that was
lost his
bad joke.
duodenum.
Duodenum,
Yes.
the area where you poop from.
No, it's the lower intestine. Yes, essentially.
So you know what the key word is? Tick 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 boom. What a trip! Did you guys see the satellite that NASA launched into that asteroid?
I didn't watch it.
No, I
didn't
don't
watch
know
it.
anything about this.
Oh, wow.
So this is a government. No, this is a planetary defense experiment.
it is, and they don't have actual video of it. It is a
Computer simulation.
Yeah, it's a computer simulation, but the spirit of what they were doing is just like you said. It was a planetary defense against the asteroids. They wanted to see if it was possible, and
To move them.
well, it's
Well-
unknown at this point. But to hit it, first of all, to hit a target 11 million kilometers
We're
away.
amazing. We're amazing. We really
Well,
are.
Have we
Yeah.
done it?
Yeah, it
So
happened
that-
last.
we-
It happened
We
last
hit
night.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we hit it, and it was like so the spacecraft NASA's
Did it do anything
double
to it?
asteroid rendezvous test, otherwise known as DART probe, slammed into a small asteroid 7 million miles, so 11 million kilometers from Earth, the September 26th, and what the U.S. Space Agency has billed as the world's first planetary defense test.
Yeah.
The goal was to change the orbit of the space rock called Dimorphos around its asteroid parent. They do not know if whether it did or not.
No,
As
I
far
heard
as
it.
we can
I
tell,
heard they got the stats back. It moved it 1/100th of a millimeter to the left.
Whichever 7
Well,
million
it
miles,
says,
maybe enough
as far
to
as
miss
we can
us.
tell, our first planetary defense test was a
Probably
success.
Oh, the fact
I
that they,
think
the fact that
Earthlings
they
should
hit
sleep
it,
better tonight.
the fact that they hit it was. Well, hold on. Are you showing us? Are you showing us that?
That's real
Yeah,
footage.
that's it. I don't think that's real, but it's well,
Well, I don't
actually,
know.
it may be partly
Sure
real.
looks real.
Yeah.
Is that Elon Musk's car on it?
They just shot a Tesla to it, right?
Is that a Tesla?
Well, there's a
emblem on there?
Tesla's landed. It's just sitting right there on the top.
Yeah, the last few images from DART as it crashed into the asteroid.
And there's like a
Dimorphos.
dummy with his arm over
You
the.
know, I
feet.
was doing this in the early '80s. They had that video game Asteroid. Come on, the technology was back then.
I know. You know what? And they could have used you back then.
I know,
Yeah.
man. You just said like boom, boom, boom. That was high score.
That's like the Last Starfighter.
Three taxes.
Isn't that the
Boom,
movie
boom.
that's the Last Starfighter? They're waiting for somebody to beat
Yeah.
the high score, and
That's
then they
right.
recruit.
So they
And
were
then they
saying
recruit
that
them?
they were navigating
There it is
this
right there.
craft.
There it is right there.
And Mr. Producer put up the
Such a
authentic
he's
such a
arcade.
boring game. Look at
Oh
that.
my God! He literally has Asteroid up on the screen where you have
Oh.
a little. Basically, it's a cursor.
Yeah, it looks like
It's a
triangle
flying
cursor.
cursor, and you spin around and you shoot these balls that are coming at you. Oh my God, we love that game. You can play for hours.
I always
Yeah.
tried not to move because once you start moving,
Oh God, yeah. Once you start,
it gets
getting
wheels
speed,
off. Yeah,
It's very
you're going real
shifty.
fast.
So
Oh,
they
that's so
say,
fascinating.
but can you imagine flying that asteroid ship where you're only able to contact it every 30 seconds?
Oh wow, that's
And
more
make
often
make
than I would have
adjustments?
thought.
Pardon?
Make an adjustment if you need
Yeah,
to.
they said at that distance, at
7 million
7
miles, yeah.
million miles, they said it takes about 30 seconds of for that radio frequency to get there.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's the Atari game, and yes, when you start getting speed up, and then your cursor starts flying. I mean, just going back and forth across the screen.
Yes.
And then you got those asteroids all around you, but that's okay because you've got the secret weapon of the hyperspace button right in between the middle where you can hit it and boop, it just relocates you automatically.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Hyperspace.
I remember Tank Command too.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
you
with
sit
the
there
two
and you
tanks?
you shoot the tank and it spins around,
Well, I think
and
that's
then you
called
back him into the
combat.
corner and you keep blasting and blasting and blasting. Nothing.
Right.
You can do nothing, and then finally it blows you through the wall
I thought that was
to the
combat.
other side of the screen. No, it's called Tank.
I don't remember that aspect, but I remember the tank wars where
It blasts you through the
a
wall.
tank, you would be going against your buddy who was sitting next to you.
Yeah, and you're going around these barricades.
Right.
Yeah, that's called combat.
I
No,
thought it was
Tank
Combat was an
Wars.
Atari
I thought it was called
2600
Tank
game.
Command.
I thought it was
Tank Commander.
Tank Command or Tank Wars.
No,
Yeah.
it's called
That's
Tank
combat.
Commander.
No, it's combat from Atari.
No,
No, it was the 2600.
no.
and-
Well, you're going.
There, right there.
Well, it's called Tank Commander and the original.
No, it's called combat.
Is it really? You
Yes.
can't be right on.
Well,
this
that's got
deal.
airplanes and
That is not it.
No, God.
No,
that's
well,
awful.
combat is the whole disc.
that's
So
Donkey Command.
maybe the specific. So on that combat disc, you have jet fighters, you have
There
biplanes.
we go. That was it. This
Yeah.
is Atari.
Yeah. So on there you have several games. The whole
It
thing was
is
called combat.
Oh yeah, the
So
airplanes.
there you go. You have the jet planes, and then you have the bi-wing fighters. And
Yeah.
so you got the tanks without the barricades, and then you have tanks with barricades. And then
Okay.
when you shoot the tank, in the projectile has an option to bounce off other things, so you can like bounce
Can't
things
you
off the
also
corner.
curve it?
Yeah.
I don't think you can curve
Yeah,
it.
you can
Yeah,
curve it
you
as well.
could. We were able to curve
This
it.
is the one I'm thinking of
Yes.
with the barriers.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
the
it.
barriers.
And if you hold down the reset button
And they're
hit
bouncing.
fire, there you go.
See, it blasts you through the wall. You see
Yeah.
that?
All right, so that's like the very first Atari 2600 game I have ever played.
And what's
My
funny
dad
is,
came home with it when we were living in Germany.
it kept us occupied for hours.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? For years.
Years. As a matter of fact, I remember coming home from college, and I still had it in my, buried under in the cabinet in the living room. I pulled it out,
I
and
like
we
the
started playing it, and
biplanes.
we
That was fun.
howled for hours. It was fantastic. Oh yeah, it's a biplane. I mean, well then they had the one with the circus or whatever. The guys jumping on the little tripods, going up, hitting all the balloons and coming down. The other guys coming down, hitting the balloons and going up.
One of my favorites I
called
used
Circus.
to play. There were a couple that I'd always go because they don't really have arcades anymore. I don't think. I think there are still some out there, but
And they're all first person shooter games.
yeah, it's all that crap. And I used to go to.
what?
Yeah, they're stupid games.
I used to go
Take it back.
to.
Stupid games for stupid people.
They are
Oh,
easy minds. But I used to go to
look at that. I remember that one. There's 3
arcade.
biplanes
That
and
was
a
a
bomber.
bomber.
with a bag of quarters, and I would play
Okay.
Jungle Hunt,
Oh yeah.
That was his name. Was his girlfriend.
Jungle
Jungle
Hunt,
A bag of quarters.
Oh.
and Joust. Was my other
There you
one.
I
go.
never
Joust
played
was
Joust.
good.
I played
You're on an ostrich. Come on.
the one where the thing came down, not Space Invaders, but
Galaga.
Galaga. God, I would play
Yeah.
that for hours, and I suck so bad at it. The other one I played was Defender.
Oh,
yeah,
Defender
I like
was
Defender.
fun.
I like
Defender
Defender.
was a lot of fun.
Williams.
And
Williams is Defender.
No one ever really understood the concept of defenders. The defenders you were supposed to protect the people on the planet.
Yeah,
so
you're
when
supposed to
right,
pick
you're
them
supposed
up.
to-
aliens came down and picked up the people, you're not supposed to kill them. I used to blow them away. And then there was one time I
No. You want to kill them before they pick up the people.
Well, yeah, but after
And if you kill them, then you go down and
yeah,
you
the
can
people
catch them.
fall. Then you have to catch them.
Correct.
Yes. Yes. Otherwise, if they kidnap them and take them away, you lost them forever.
Good Lord.
God,
The
those
producer
were,
pulled up
those were so fun. Those
Williams.
days.
Yeah, see?
Williams Electronics.
So let me ask you this:
Defender, yeah.
because you can buy those now still.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Well,
you
I
can
mean,
buy
there's
these
a lot
Atari
of
games.
there are some arcades. I mean, there's some arcade. There's a big arcade downtown McKinney. Our producer went out there. He goes there. Within the last month, he's been there.
That
But the
has
thing
these
is,
games.
Yeah.
But the thing
Well, I
is,
mean, I don't know exactly all of them.
you
There it
can
is.
get all of these
Defender.
games basically in the controller.
Right.
So they'll have like 100 games these in the controller. So all you're holding is the controller. Just plug the controller in.
Would it still be? It'd still be fun.
Well, you're still holding the controller. It's the same thing.
No. What I'm saying is, if we played these games now,
Yeah, I would
it would
think
still
it's
be
fun.
fun.
I would want a replica of the commands or the control sticks. So I would want like a piece of plywood laminated with plastic with the actual knobs and the buttons.
Oh, you
that
mean
way,
of the arcade game itself?
well, I mean, you could
not
still,
the Atari game.
You could well, I mean, for like this game right here, that is an arcade game that when you play it, it's got the feel that you're going left, right, and you hit the little button reverse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. God,
Then they have is it Tetra? No.
Tetris.
What is Tetris? No, it's
Tempest.
Tempest. That's one where you
That was
spin
one of my
around
favorites
the,
too. Yeah.
What's
Oh,
that
that was
one?
a good one. That's
I've
where
never
you
even
spin
heard of
around the
Tempest.
perimeter of this thing, and you're shooting into like a 3D tube, and these little things are coming up.
You got these X's that would like flip over like this, and they would come to the
I
top.
want to see this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Tempest was pretty popular. I don't know what that is. That's it.
That's it.
It's like hey, do we got any audio on this? I'm curious.
I'm sure the audio is horrible.
Oh man, I think some of them has some pretty good soundtracks.
No audio.
What was that?
That was my attempt at Atari audio. There we go. Player one.
Oh yeah, there it is. I played the shit out of this too.
Oh, dude, that looks like so much fun. I never played that.
Yeah, they got those little things coming up. Look like Jacob's ladder. There you go. Wow, what fantastic noise that is.
That is actually pretty damn good. Oh, this is cool. So it's like a spider web.
Yeah.
So
The
you're like a
spider's coming
spider. Yeah, you're like a spider, and you're like running around in a circle.
Supercharger, ready to go. And you got your supercharger, which kind of like kills everything.
And then you had Space Invaders. That was a cool one too.
Yeah, that was kind of.
That was a little more first generation, right?
They had a remember Commander. Is it Control Commander?
All right, you could mute that.
What was it? Commander? What now?
It's Control Commander where you have these missiles that will come out of the sky.
Missile command.
Missile command.
Oh, that was
that was a lot
I had
of
that
fun.
I had that on my
awesome
computer.
game.
My TRS-80 Model 3.
Yeah.
I had Missile Command.
Yeah,
on
check
there.
that one out. Missile Command.
Missile Command.
That one probably, honestly, was my favorite. That had the ball, the roller ball,
You had a roller ball.
and then you go choo, 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 like you.
Then you'd get so
putting
far, and then all of a sudden it's just like 1,000 rockets
1,000
come
of them.
out.
Yeah,
You're just like,
so what you do at first is you use the roller ball to do like cluster bombs in the sky, and then
Right.
they explode, and then you're hoping that those initial ones take out as many as that can come.
Yep.
God, that game was so much fun.
Yeah, and is this it?
Yeah, what's the sound on
yeah,
this one?
is it.
Yeah, that's it. Defend cities is what it says, and here they come. You have an X, and you're rolling.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Do you have any? And they come faster
So
and faster and
you
faster.
basically you make an
No sound, huh?
explosion in the sky, and the explosion will take out the missiles that are coming.
Yeah,
So-
and you want to time it so when two.
Yes,
You
they're
can take
coming
two of-
together. You can take them out with the same one.
Right. Oh, there you go.
So this is basically like Israel, and
Is this the Iron Dome?
this is basically the Patriot missile batteries. Absolutely. It is the Iron Dome. That's exactly what it is in real life. Have you ever seen the videos of that stuff?
It's amazing.
The Iron Dome is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where the Israeli citizens are like walking along and they're like taking videos, and they're like, and you hear the alarms go off.
Well, I mean, it's
And then,
it's
like,
for real
they-
now.
Boom.
I mean,
the Patriot
it's
missile goes up there, and
it's for real now. So
Boom.
they have they've got this technology now, where they can blast it 7 million miles across the galaxy and hit a satellite, hit an asteroid.
Amazing.
You know, I mean, you think about that movie with Bruce
Armageddon.
Willis, Armageddon, where the goal was to redirect it somewhere.
Well, that and
Well,
Deep,
no, he landed.
Deep Impact too, right?
Well, he landed his space shuttle on it, and they were going to put a nuke into a chasm.
yeah,
Remember? So they had to go up there and mine.
And it broke
Yeah.
into two, but it didn't. I'm mixing up Deep Impact and Armageddon.
No, so Deep Impact.
Those are very similar
Well,
movies.
well,
I'm not. We're not talking about your pillow. We're,
Very nice. I knew that was coming.
Yes.
Yes.
is that too soon?
Not a
Split
pillow.
them in two. No, well, Armageddon was where they had to land the space shuttle. Because they were deep sea miners, I think. So they had to
Right.
mine down this asteroid,
That movie
put the
was,
nuke down there. But of course,
that movie
everything
was so
fails, and
silly.
he had to stay behind and set it off manually.
That movie was so silly.
It was,
I like Deep
What?
Impact.
What? You
What?
talking about Armageddon?
I
it was
liked
patriotic.
it, but it was so.
Oh my God! He handed him as the flag.
It was so
you know,
over the
and
top.
lifted off his thing.
It's
It was over the top. I like Deep Impact
Aerosmith
more
sang
than.
a
Well,
song on it.
Did I like Deep Impact more than the other one? Who was in Deep Impact? That was that really pretty girl.
I don't even know what that was.
The pretty one.
was it Morgan Freeman in Deep Impact?
Yes, he was the president, and the
Was
journalist.
it Shia LaBeouf
No,
or was it Tobey Maguire?
but the journalist.
Spider-Man.
The journalist is like Tia somebody.
Tia Leone.
Tia Leone. Oh, she's so pretty in that movie. Just like in.
She was married to David Duchovny.
Remember, I've heard that.
I
name.
don't think I've seen Deep.
No,
Impact.
Elijah
Oh,
Wood.
yeah, you
That's who
have.
it was. I knew it was some kid.
What is it? Elijah Wood? Wasn't he Spider-Man?
He would no. He was
Tia
Frodo.
Leone.
oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was. It was Frodo.
Yeah, I knew it was someone. Like
And she was also in Family Man with Nicolas Cage, Tia Leone. Are you guys not like realizing how the hottie that she is?
No,
What's
I know
going
who
on
that
with you
is.
guys?
No, all right. Well, pull up a picture of Tia. Just kind of like click on her, Tia Leone. See what we've got here, and type in nude afterwards.
Oh God, you and nude.
What?
All right, go ahead. I'm kidding. Don't
No.
do it.
No, just do it.
No,
Yeah, she-
no, don't do it. What's wrong with you?
Well,
Come
When
on.
can we start?
We're trying to be
All right,
better.
put bathing
We're
suit.
trying to be better people.
Put bathing suit.
Sean knows all the tricks.
I know. Apparently.
Well, that way they're not nude. They're
Oh, good.
just showing
Safe
a lot of
search is
skin.
on. I think she's really cute.
Whatever. I want
Anyway.
to see some.
No, you
Sure,
don't.
like
You
I
don't need
said,
to see. You don't need
like,
to see anything.
all
Just
tits and ass.
appreciate her for her natural beauty with clothes on.
No.
Yes.
She needs to be dancing to some TikTok song.
Yeah. They
Well, there's right. I
just
just
dancing
don't.
to that
dancing
little.
I really
the
don't
judge.
understand you sometimes at all.
Well, I mean,
She's got some sexy scenes in Family Man.
I don't know if I've seen
family. I don't even know what Family Man is.
Oh, come on. That's when Nicolas Cage.
that. Was he the weatherman?
Remember, he. It's basically Scrooged. He gets three. You know, he sees
Family Man.
I've never. I don't think I've seen it.
Nicolas Cage.
If I
It's
did,
like,
I don't remember.
It's like Scrooge, where the angel comes and angel says, "You get
All right, I do
okay. You're
recall
gonna see what your
something
life.
like that.
You're gonna see what your life is gonna be like." I cannot believe you guys. It's a
No,
fantastic
I
movie.
have seen it. I have seen it. And
I
it was
blocked it out of my
actually,
memory.
It's a must watch.
It was a
actually.
good movie. I just don't. She just didn't really stand out as
A hottie.
what you're making her.
All right. Well, let's just move on for it being a really good movie that you have to watch. It makes you appreciate what you have.
Oh my gosh, appreciate what you
Well,
got.
so does It's a Wonderful Life, and I'll never watch that movie.
I've never
No.
seen that either.
I have no desire
Isn't
to
that
watch
the one
that.
where you ring a bell and the angel gets his wings or something?
I don't know. It's
God,
Or is that Miracle on 69th Street?
34th.
Whatever.
69th Street.
Sorry.
You're close.
The Red Light District. Miracle on 69th Street. Selling your buddy Dukes like us, Paul.
Yeah. Get your angel's wings.
Every time Paul gets his wings, an angel. Never mind.
Yeah, you
And it-
remember this? Come on. You
It's
remember
got-
this
it's
movie?
got
Yeah, I remember
Don
it.
Cheadle in it.
Yeah.
Whoa, what-
That's Tia Leone. Yeah, and then he wakes up with this life that he wasn't supposed to have. That was the life that he missed out on. And then he
don't know.
grows, then he starts to love that life and wants it back. And he shows up later and he's like, well, that's not the life you chose, bro. And he's like, well, how do I get that back? I want that life. Anyway, it's a really good movie.
Maybe I'll watch it. I think I've seen it, but
Yeah,
That was
I've seen
fucking
it. It was a
20
good
years ago.
movie.
No,
But
it's fantastic.
okay, it's a good movie,
No,
but
was
it
she is not
fantastic?
all that.
I would give it an A.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially because
Okay, you're
When's the
gonna
la-
give
when's
that
the last
movie an
time
A,
you
but
watched
you're
it?
gonna slam Armageddon.
Okay, time out.
How dare
I
you?
liked Armageddon. I did.
How
I just
dare
I
you?
just thought there were some scenes that were over the top. With
Really?
It's about them
How
landing
about
on
them
an
landing
asteroid.
on
Of
an
course,
asteroid, not
there's-
over the top?
Yeah, the whole movie's over the
you
top.
know what? I'll tell you the scene that really bothered me. Remember when the Russian cosmonaut is in his stupid little station and they have to go there to refuel?
Oh yes.
And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't work right. I do this lever. Oh, the lever broke off. Oh, I need to hit it with a wrench and make it work. Oh, now that doesn't work. I'm gonna hit that with something else. I'm gonna kick it. Oh, it just works. I mean, come on, really? Why do they have to be so stupidly over the top with it?
Because it was the Ruskies.
I mean, it was
Good
retarded.
Lord.
It was retarded. Anyway, good movie. Good movie. I like Bruce Willis.
I think Paul's sensitive to making fun of Russians.
Well, I
So
think I think the Russians deserve more respect than that. They would not have had a space station that was that shitty.
Well, so I'm very interested in something that has popped up on the radar. And first of all, I was interested that it popped up on the radar. Then I was more interested
Hurricane Ian.
California
Yes.
legalizing the composting of human beings. Okay, that by itself, wow. Did I just say that? But then the title says California has joined Washington, Colorado, Vermont, and Oregon in legalizing the composting of human remains. I didn't know that you could do that in those other
So,
states.
do you need a permit to do that?
I don't know, but it sounds.
So I know.
You say my grandma
kinda
just
like you got
died.
Jimmy the fish over
I
here.
need some
Hey,
fertilizer.
So I know that you can.
I got a few bodies over here I need to get rid of. Can I put
you know
them
how
in the composting?
what do they call it when you they put them on a big stack of wood and they wrap them in like in the old days, like in the Middle Ages,
Correct.
the Vikings and shit. Pier. Anyway, they would put them on that thing and
Called
they would light them up.
cremation. Yes.
I think that is allowed in some states. If you want to, it's called
Have a huge pyre
pyre.
of
Pyre. Thank you.
wood.
Yeah, you can. That
So
instead of
you can burn your carcass.
yes, instead of being buried in a cemetery or cremated in a cemetery, whatever, you can do a pyre.
I elect for that.
Me too.
God, I want mine the size
In your yard.
Oh, my backyard. Yeah, you
In
know.
Frisco, a pyre in
God.
Frisco.
And I
Imagine what that would
want-
stink like.
Or even better,
Like a barbecue.
they do floating ones. You know how like the Vikings do floating ones and they shoot the flaming arrow?
It would have to be in a designated area.
I want that in my pool. I want somebody to shoot a flaming arrow from
just-
the parking lot
No,
of the
just standing.
church.
No, just standing on the edge.
Oh, it's right
Real close.
just straight into the body. Boom.
You're dead.
And then it starts
So
lighting.
Yes.
California expected to
God, that's very-
legalize human composting, an eco-friendly burial method. That
Eco-friendly.
doesn't have to be so dark, especially if you know that your body will be returned to the earth once you go. And if you live in California, you just may be able to partake in that eco-friendly burial process.
Do they
As-
grind you up?
I
Yeah.
think as long as you can hang on for a few more years, as California is considering a bill that would make it the fourth state to legalize human composting. I do not know the details.
I mean, do they grind you into like a fine?
I don't think
into
they
a
grind
little
you.
green
I,
tablet.
I
yeah, like
think
little
that
pellets.
I think they just put you in the earth as is,
No,
and
because then someone could come dig you up.
No. They
You either have to be cremated, then you could spread the ashes, or they grind
that's
you up
not
somehow.
compost. Ashes does not compost material.
Oh,
so
no.
what do they put you in a blender?
That's what I mean.
They
A
put you in
mulcher?
some sort of meat processor.
I'd like to work in that facility.
Yeah. Well, what if
God.
they took your body and they liquefied it using chemicals?
Just as bad.
And, well,
Like on Breaking Bad.
Well, then you're dumping.
kind of, but
Well, then you're dumping acid into your lawn.
well,
that would,
actually,
that would
acid
kill
is-
your grass.
I-
That wouldn't
no,
let it
no,
grow.
won't, actually, it does not kill your grass.
Acid?
Acid
Certain acids, yeah, like
that will eat flesh and bone.
well, yeah,
Flesh and bone.
like
The hell was that?
Is that pneumatic? Pneumatic
Sound like an old English mage or something.
flesh and bone.
1 minute is something that's been flesh and bone. God, what the hell? Why are we even talking about this? We know that
And
before,
he doesn't want to
before
talk
they
about.
Slow
compost,
down a little bit.
trust me, before they start doing composting on a grand scale, it will be Soylent Green.
Well, there we go.
It will be
Cali-
Soylent Green well
California
before that.
isn't the only state to put human composting on the table,
Oh
or
my
rather,
God.
in the organic burial vessel.
Oh, gross. gross.
A few other U.S. states have already legalized the process, and several others are considering it. So what we see here is a bathtub bed-looking thing.
with a bunch of wood chips on it.
It's got a little bag in there, and it's got some hay or something. And I think they shove it into
A tube.
a wormery where they have some worms that probably digest you, and then you relocate those worms.
And then they put it into a bag. So Grandpa Hayward.
Well,
Hey, Papa,
yeah,
can we
you
make
get
some
a bag.
strawberries with some of Aunt Jamal's?
Right. You get a
know?
bag of Grandpa Hayward, and you
There
put
you
it
go.
into your garden, and you spread it out with your gloves.
I'll pass.
Dude, but can you imagine? Dude, we just had Sean strawberries.
Oh, and they were amazing.
They were amazing. Now,
so
Sean
rich
strawberries
and full of nutrients.
are like the most popular strawberries on the planet. Everybody wants that. It's super expensive to get that mulch. That
So
compost,
if I ate strawberries that were grown from your composted material, would I be eating your DNA?
In theory, yeah, I'm thinking I might just start shitting right now and saving it. I'm gonna get ahead of the game.
Oh, you're gonna do extra compost.
I'm gonna start excrement bagging now.
You're gonna have like 10 years worth of bags of shit
Hey,
along
homeboy,
with your body.
homeboy was growing potatoes
That way
on
you could
Mars.
That way you could do a whole farm of Sean.
Just throw it in your backyard with the dog shit.
Oh yeah, you get really nice
And your
grass.
wife will look at it and go, what the
Oh, my
hell?
God,
This is the
man.
best grass ever.
Rocco.
Thank you, Sean. You did one thing right.
Oh, one thing,
No,
you son of a
I don't-
bitch.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be allowed
A
to
recompost
grow fruits and
vessel
vegetables from human
with
compost.
Plant materials surrounding
Maybe your
a
hedges?
dummy body.
No, it's disgusting.
But you can't. I don't think they're going to allow you to grow human or edible foods from it.
Well, it didn't say anything about edible. I mean,
Well, fruits and vegetables, right?
well,
Who's going to want to eat that? Yeah, I grew this with.
Well, if it's all,
Human.
what if it's organic and rich in
Yeah,
nutrients?
is that going to be another section in the grocery store?
GMO.
Human.
It's
Oh my God, this was.
what's the acronym for that? Human
we'll just call
human
it.
compost
We'll
remains.
call it cannibal veg.
Yeah.
Cannibal veggies. Hey,
No.
scroll down just a little bit more. I want to see what.
Human.
Say, California is considering legalizing human compost. California.
God.
Christina Garcia recently introduced a bill which is co-authored by Senator Susan Eggman for the second time.
No, the bottom. Recompose is able to transform a dead human body into soil in just 30 days. By
Excellent.
placing it in a burial vessel surrounded by plant material and mixing it with soil on a daily basis.
That wouldn't smell bad, would it?
Again, is that automated
don't
or
know.
is someone going in there to kind of toss it
Oh
around a
no,
little
somebody's
bit?
going in there with like a
Yeah.
spoon.
Someone's gonna have to toss that salad.
Like a pitchfork?
Yeah, somebody's got a spoon and kind of turning it over one bone at a time.
And doesn't that just the human body just leaks as well?
Yeah,
Well, I
the-
mean, you got to
but the
imagine
plant material breaks
once,
down to
It bloats.
if we're 90
flesh and bones.
if we're 90% water, I mean, you got to imagine there's not a whole lot left afterwards.
That's what I mean. It leaks.
It's just bones.
I remember when I buried Bobo in the flower bed in the backyard.
Good God.
Yeah, right. He got super bloated, right? And then I went over to the flower bed, and there was this massive trail of ants
Oh no!
going down into the carcass, and I was like, "Ooh, that's just gross." They're all like tearing him apart, carrying little piece
That's
by
the
piece of,
circle of life
of
right
my
there.
poor little dog.
It was all bloated. You can see his belly.
Well, it seemed like the soil was humped.
Oh no! God.
I'm sure if I got up on the ground and started bouncing up and down, it would have been like,
You should have poked it. You didn't poke it.
gross.
So the
a
human
stick?
people
My
say, well,
poor
how much
dog.
can a human make in as far as composting goes? And the answer, like, if you were to say, all right, well, I'm
Probably
going to
not very
donate my
much.
body 1 cubic yard.
That's not a lot.
Actually, that is a lot.
Well, hold on. When
That'd
you
fill
buy
up the
a
back of your
bag of
truck.
compost at Home Depot, that is what
If-
three
if-
cubic
if-
yards.
If you were to fill up the back of a Ford 150 with 1 cubic yard of soil, it would be overflowing.
Oh, that's retarded. Our bodies are not that big, Sean.
I'm
That
just
doesn't make
telling
any
you
sense.
what it says here. Okay, it says
You
1
go from
cubic
this
yard.
to this.
Yeah.
Human composting creates 1 cubic yard of soil per body. So maybe it's just one ingredient That so it's like, all right, well, we have.
Well, how big is 1 cubic yard?
Well, I just shared that with you. It's 3
Show
foot
us a
by 3
picture.
foot by
Show
3
us a
foot.
picture of 1 cubic yard of a composted
kidding me?
human body.
No, look, I had an 8-foot bed on the back of my
3
truck.
feet by 3 or
3 by 3 by
There's
3 by 3 by 3, a cubic yard.
Dude, if we can stuff a human body into a suitcase,
No,
there's
you're,
no
you're,
way.
You're missing the point.
Oh, they
Okay,
mix it with something.
First of all, let's define what a
There's-
cubic yard is.
there's a cubic yard
A
right
cubic yard will fill up. See that truck? It fills up the back of a truck, and actually, that's a
cubic
little bit less
yard
than a cubic
of
yard.
dirt.
there. Yeah, because I used to get a cubic yard, actually half a
This
cubic
is
yard.
1 cubic yard.
Yeah.
Well, they mix it with plant material, though.
That's my point. And it even says that the process begins with 3 cubic yards of plant material.
oh,
3
that's so gross.
and then
That
the
is so
families can
gross.
either take the soil home once the process is
But
complete,
just think about
or
this,
they
guys.
can donate some or all the soil to conservation efforts.
They drive up in a truck that was your loved one, now in a pile of dirt.
Now you're a big hunk of dirt.
Yeah.
And now they pour it into your flower bed, and you just start digging in there
Yeah.
and start putting
Come
plants
on.
in there. And
Come on, Papa.
Well, yeah, if you start working, you find a tooth.
yeah, like
Oh my God!
oh, that'd be
it's
so gross.
fucked up,
Be like,
man.
what,
Leave it to you. To
like a
bring up
molar with
this.
a molar with a filling in it.
Yeah. Oh, like gold. Oh, look,
Ooh,
Grandpa.
look at
Grandpa's
that.
gold
Oh
tooth.
yeah, Grandpa keeps giving.
I just found a ring.
Oh God, that's awful.
Yeah,
He had a
I'd
penis.
pass.
He had a penis piercing.
Ugh,
No one
Yeah.
checked the penis for a piercing, and here it is.
there it is. Yeah.
God.
What do
Big-
they call that
big
piercing
hunk
on
of
the
gold.
penis? The Prince Harry or Prince
Prince
Charles?
Albert,
Prince
right?
Albert. There you go.
Whoa.
My 80-year-old father knows what a Prince Albert is.
I don't think I want to know why.
I don't want to know why either.
Yes,
The
I don't know why. either.
circle of life.
Well, that was an excellent bourbon, I have to say. I wish we had more of it.
Well, we do. We
God,
have a
you
whole
guys are
bottle.
oh, you guys are still nursing yours.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Wow, I've been out for a while. That's not fair.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't get very
Just like to
much.
smell some.
Honestly, I didn't get
You
very
had
much.
the most.
You had 2 pours into that thing, and they were both substandard pours.
I don't know about that.
I think that's true.
It is pretty stout. I can feel it burn.
It's good.
Mm.
All right, well,
It's
we're gonna do another one in the second half,
We're gonna do.
a different one.
We're gonna choose.
We're gonna do the 10-year
I think
tin
it's.
cup.
We're
Oh,
doing
are we?
tin cup?
2 new ones.
Yeah, let's do the
2 new
Well,
ones,
like I said, the 10-year tin cup is like a new one. I'm sorry, like
like an old one.
But it's
Yeah.
not open, so it's new.
Yeah, whatever. It's 90
Yeah,
proof. We need to
I'm
start.
okay with it. Let's just
All right,
get it
I'm
over
fine.
Break
with.
the hymen on that.
Let's get
Kids
it over
like
with.
us, it's September 27th of 2022, and we're signing off for the first half. We'll be back with a little buzz. Shout out to our producer. Thank you, sir. We'll see you in
Yeah.
a second. Bye.
Absolutely. I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
John.